Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York. My name is Molly March, and I'm your worship associate for this morning's service, alongside our guest minister, Reverend Leika Lewis. Rev. Kristen, our UUCY minister, is not with us today. Reverend Leika Lewis, pronouns they, she, has traveled from Delaware to be with us. Reverend Leika is a UU chaplain, poet, humanist theologian, and a UU community minister. Before we begin our worship, here are a few announcements. Do you love books? So do we. There's a used book sale fundraiser that'll be held today and next Sunday in the Carriage House Sunroom during coffee hour. So if you want coffee, you have to go to the book sale because it's going to be served over there. Have any questions, contact Kathy Smith. Every third Sunday, we usually have coffee and politics. That has been canceled for today. If you get groceries or gas from Giant or Wise, please purchase your gift cards at the sales desk in the lobby. Both stores give a percentage of their sales back to our congregation, and this supports our operating budget. Script cards never expire. So as I said, the used book sale is in the Carriage House. This week and next week, lots of great books, $1 for paperbacks, $2 for hardbacks. Come browse with your friends and have coffee with us. And the sunroom is heated. As many of you know, we've lost our member, Bob Barnes, and his details of his service will be forthcoming, but please respect Mary's wishes regarding visitors, especially during this difficult time as she grieves Bob's death. She has requested that visitation be limited to family and invited guests until further notice. Please make sure to note important announcements listed on the back of your order of service. Scan the QR codes with your phone for more events, activities, updates, and information for newcomers. We are delighted to have you with us. After the time for all ages, children and youth will be invited downstairs for RE classes where they will connect and explore together. It is not too late to register your children or youth for RE, or to volunteer to help us grow our program. Our nursery is also staffed and available downstairs. Whoever you are, whomever you love, we are glad your faith journey has brought you here today. The mission of this congregation is to nurture a loving community, inspire lifelong spirituality and personal growth, and act for a better world. We welcome all you joining us in person or online. If you're joining us for the first time, we invite you to visit our welcome desk to fill out a newcomer card or send an email to welcome@uucy.org so that we may get to know you. Let us now mark this time made sacred by our presence by taking a collective deep breath. Again, welcome to UUCY.
That moment of silence was a little longer than I anticipated, but I welcome you into this collective building of worship together.
As we light our chalice, I will read the following words. We light this chalice for the quiet truths we carry and for the futures we're brave enough to write. In this circle, we honor the courage it takes to live openly, the softness it takes that sustains us, and the joy and power that grow when we gather. As the chalice glows, may we feel steadiness rise in us. May we trust that our becoming, messy, radiant, unfolding, wholly belongs to us. Now will you rise in body and spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, number 1014, Answering the Call of Love.
Guess we could have warned you about that lyric change, right? One day we'll get it. Answering the call. Okay.
Right. Now, if there are any children who would like to be able to see, that is a taller step than I expected, who would like to be able to see the story for the Time for All Ages, any children of any age. Come on up if you would like to. And this is a book that a friend of mine wrote. When I was in college, there was a guy named Brad. But the first time someone met him, they misheard his name as Chad. And so somehow that spread. And so for the longest time, he was Brad Chad. And he was one of those people who could connect with anyone, who could make friends with anyone. He was just one of those people who you meet him and there's joy. And so going, decades on, won't know how many, but decades on from college, Brad Chad shifted from just writing lovely songs about connecting to writing lovely books about how we choose to be in the world and how we live together. And so this book is called The Circles All Around Us. We begin by drawing a circle on the ground along each shoe. A safe little place for just one person, nobody in this circle but you. You could keep that circle closed to everyone but yourself, but that would be like a library with just one book on the shelf. So let's draw a bigger circle for you and your family to share. Now you see what all can happen in a circle full of care. It becomes a happier circle as more loved ones come to stay. And wouldn't it be even better if all our friends could come and play? So we stretch and draw our circle even bigger than it's been, and let a few more people know they're welcome to come in. In the circles all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. Yet there are still so many outside the circle who are different in all they do. Though it can sometimes feel slightly uncomfortable, we draw a bigger circle for them too. It doesn't mean the circle is easy. It can get harder the more we share. But wonderful things can happen when love is known and felt everywhere. As time passes, our eyes open, we see others we really care for, and that's when we ask ourselves, well, what's this circle really there for? So let us create bigger circles all around us for the rest of our days. Let our caring ripple out in a million little ways. In the circles all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. As our circles grow and grow, and we watch them wonder-eyed, remember, the first circle started with just the love you hold inside. And I just love that idea of continuing to draw the circle wide, as the song says, and wider still. And I think that we have a pretty big need in the world right now, today, for circles that connect us in love and not disconnection. So this is what the service is going to be about today, and I look forward to hearing from the kids about your lesson today, and I will invite you to head to your service or your children's classes. Ask one of the grown-ups and they'll help you. Just follow the other kid.
Oh, may your mind be open to new learning, and may your lips speak truth into the world. May your heart know love, and your hands do the work of justice. As you go your way in peace, as you go your way in peace.
We dedicate this time in our service each week to address what we call matters of the heart. We gather our spirits, center our minds and bodies in these moments of reflection together. These are the matters of heart shared by our community. This is a time to share the joys and sorrows, the small moments of happiness, the deepening concerns that reside within our hearts. You may choose to submit something for matters of the heart anytime during the week by visiting our website, or you may fill out a slip on Sunday morning and set it up here on the pulpit before the service starts. Now, we light a candle of appreciation for the many hands and hearts who offer their gifts. As we learn their names and faces, may we extend our gratitude to all the volunteers today. And I don't have everybody's name, so I'm just putting out a general thank you to everyone for ushering, for the flowers, for doing the collection and all those. May all those whose labors remain unnamed feel held by our expansive gratitude and forgive us for any omissions. May we increase our awareness of all invisible ways we share in this sacred work. We will light one final candle this morning for all that remains unspoken within our heart. It may feel too large or too small to share. You may not be ready to hear it read out loud. But please know that our community holds these with you in silence, even if the words never come. We honor all that we carry within us and know that the flame of our faith, kindled here, resides within us also at all times. So may it ever be. Amen. And now we are going to sing Spirit of Life in Spanish, and I'm supposed to introduce it, and I speak German, so. Our reading this morning is A Litany for Survival by Audre Lorde. For those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decisions crucial, and alone for those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who live in doorways coming and going in the hours between dawns, looking inward and outward at once, before and after, seeking a now that can breed futures, like bread in our children's mouths, so their dreams will not reflect the deaths of others. For those of us who were imprinted with fear, like the faint line in the center of our foreheads, learning to be afraid with our mother's milk, for by this weapon, this illusion of some safety to be found, the heavy-footed hope to silence us. For all of us, this instant and this triumph, we were never meant to survive. And when the sun rises, we are afraid it might not remain. When the sun sets, we are afraid it might not rise in the morning. When our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion. And when our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again. When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard, nor welcomed, And when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive.
You may have encountered the phrase, "not a snowball's chance in hell," used to describe something with a very low, indeed impossible, likelihood of success. Now, if I'm honest, this phrase offends me just a little. I love snow, like really, really love snow. And I hate heat. Really, really, really hate heat. But more than that, as you might suspect, the phrase offends me for a different reason. You see, I describe myself as an inveterate optimist. Now, the word inveterate is more often used to describe bad habits, in the opinion of the observer, that is, that someone can't quite get rid of. But I love this juxtaposition of this negative sibling of stubborn used in a positive way, paired with a word that is more often used in a flattering light, but can be a negative thing as well, optimism. I like to look at things from unexpected angles. So tying that back to snowballs and hell, I hate when people just assume failure from the start, especially when they're assuming on someone else's behalf, especially when someone comes to them with this beautiful snowball they have crafted of their hopes or dreams or determinations, and they say, "Not a snowball's chance in hell." I hate when someone comes to the world with a snowball they have crafted of all they can imagine for the future, and the world says, "Not a snowball's chance in hell." And I want you to remember that idea of believing that failure is not inevitable. We're going to come back to it. Now, today is the Sunday of Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. And I would like to tell you, if you have or if you haven't heard, about the sermon that Martin Luther King Jr., the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., was scheduled to preach the Sunday after he ended up being killed. So he had prepared a sermon, "Why America May Go to Hell." And it was going to be about how America would go to hell if we didn't address economic inequality just as much as racial inequality. Well, he was right. We're in hell, complete with dumpster fires all around, darkness it can be hard to navigate in, and so many people experiencing a sense of disconnection. Sounds pretty spot on to me for the hell described in evangelical Christian beliefs. The inherent worth and dignity of person after person, entire groups of people, has been called into question by leaders at every level in our country and in our communities and in our world. There is violence in the streets brought by masked people claiming to bring protection, but only bringing fear, harm, and death. So it definitely seems like an environment in which those metaphorical snowballs would instantly turn to vapor. And yet. And I just want to take a moment for a side note. Great appreciation to nature for showing up as a supporting actor in this sermon. I love the fact that we have lovely fresh snow on the ground right now. But if you have been around in a snowy area in spring, especially those first bursts of warmth, we see the daffodils start to poke up. The spring is peeking around the corner, and then all of a sudden the spring is here and the snow melts, and it's gone until the next season. Except for all of those snow piles, I have been, as someone who has family from the Midwest, has spent a lot of time in the Midwest, I have seen a giant snow pile still there on a hot day in April or early May, because all that snow that was packed together all winter somehow survives the heat. And that's what I want us to think about, is not coming with our beautiful snowball, delicately crafted and gently held for the world to see. I want us to think instead about resistance, where we snowflakes can become not snowballs, but snow piles, stronger and more lasting in our countless numbers and with our countless hopes and with our countless determinations to resist melting in the heat. Because snow does seem delicate in individual flakes or even in those damned snowballs, but under pressure, snow hunkers down to stay. It molds itself to its neighbors. Now, a lot of churches, including many UU communities, like to say that anyone is welcome. And yes, we are a welcoming people. It's one of the things I love about being a Unitarian Universalist, how accepting we are. But this welcome is not completely without limits. In agreeing to a set of values that unite us, we covenant with each other how we're going to build our snow pile together. We agree together what flakes will make our snow piles the strongest. We agree together how we will make our congregations safe places, how we will create sanctuary, and what concepts may, like fresh snowfall, look stable on the surface, but they won't hold up under pressure. When we say to LGBTQ folks or immigrants or women, we want you to be safe here, we also commit to building the necessary foundation to make that so. Our values are a promise to each other. I grew up in a faith tradition that was filled with people who were friendly and people who wanted to build community, but it was not a good fit for me. I spent my 20s and 30s in another. And as I got older, one of the things that I remember an older friend and mentor telling me is that as you get older, your give a damn gets a little bit broken. And you realize that it doesn't matter so much what all of the rules are for all of the other people who want to live their lives, but that you just have this, as we know the phrase, one precious and beautiful and wild and wonderful and wonder-filled, if I can extrapolate a little bit, life to live. And so I set out on a search. Now, I can say now that I absolutely felt like I was dragging through the middle of the desert when I, as a come-inner in Unitarian Universalism, found the UU. I came on a Sunday, if I can tell you a little bit of that story. I was late because I wasn't sure if this was really something I wanted to do, to step outside everything I had ever known and build something new. So I was late, so of course there were no seats except in the front. And I was wearing a bright red sweater because of course I was. So I traipsed all the way down to the front and I sat down next to a woman who was knitting. And she whispered a hello, and I whispered a thank you and hello back. And then we focused on the service. And to this day, I have no idea what the service was, except that I knew that it felt like coming home. But I will never forget one piece of that service, and that was the closing song. Now, by the time the closing song came around, I already felt like, this is a place where I can be. And then they announced the closing song, and it still makes me tear up just a little bit recalling it. And people stood and people sang, "I wish I knew how it would feel to be free." And I sobbed. Because that is what we offer here. We don't offer the parching of judgment. We don't offer the melting of violence that takes away. We offer the cooling stability of snow piles of determination. But when you build a snow pile, one of the things is that you can't make it too tall. You can't try to put too much all into one place because it won't have enough stability to stay. Now, I suspect that many of you have encountered someone, as I have, who felt like their purpose was to save the world single-handed. Perhaps you've been that person, as I have too. But this work of building snow piles, this work of creating something that is stable enough to save each other from hell. This is something that we cannot do single-handedly. This is something that we cannot do on our own. This is something that we cannot do just through sheer determination and grit, as important as those are in the work that we do. We also must have moments of quiet. We also must have moments of peace. I think that might be one of my favorite things about snowfall, is going out after fresh snow has fallen and the world feels just a little bit quieter, just a little bit gentler. And yes, the next day it will be gray slush on the roads, but that doesn't take away from the peace that we can feel in the snowfall and the quiet. One of the things that I remind myself often is that there is a reason that, along with violence and crackdowns and calling on our neighbors, There is a reason why fascist governments try to take away the art, try to take away the poetry, try to take away the connection, try to take away the things that make us able to resist. And so the work of building snow piles is not just determination, is not just resistance in the ways that it is often understood. It is also about creating. It is also about generating. It is also about building up something with our hopes and our dreams and our gentleness and our anger and our wondering and our wonder. Because all of those things form the matrix of those snowflakes that look delicate individually, but together are strong enough to withstand the heat. Because what we build isn't just for one fellowship, one congregation, one nation, one planet even. So that work is going to take all of us working together to build. And we're not all the same. We don't all have the same passions. We don't all have the same commitments, the same needs or baggage. We are all called to different aspects of this work of resistance. And that when those aspects mesh together, it becomes this beautiful web in which we can all exist and build our snow piles. In that sermon on hell and America that he never got to deliver, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said something else I'd like us to take with us today. We have great challenges ahead and great possibilities. Let us not lose hope. When you lose hope, you die. We've got to keep going. I know how difficult it is. We've got to have that kind of in spite of quality to say that we are going on anyhow. We will keep the kind of hope alive that will make us know that if we will unite, if we will organize, we will be able to dramatize these issues to the point that something will be done. This work that we do is not work that happens alone, but it is also not work that will be done in our lifetimes. It is not work that was done in the life of Sojourner Truth. It is not work that was done in the lifetime of Harvey Milk. It is not work that was done in the lifetime of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. And yet, their work mattered. And yet, their stories mattered. And yet, their dreams mattered. And they are still in our snow pile. Their dreams haven't gone anywhere. Their hopes haven't gone anywhere. Their resistance hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there at the core of who we are, at the core of how we choose to be together. Life, like snow piles, works infinitely better with community. If you've ever, perhaps as a child, been a part of making a snow hill to slide down, when you are looking at the work alone, it seems infinite. It seems unconquerable. It seems unapproachable even. But when we show up together, when we feel together, when we choose together, this is the work that builds snow piles that can withstand the heat of hell. This is the work. We are not snowballs in hell. We are snow piles that will stand forever at the core of the world that resistance builds. May we together make it so.
Thank you, Reverend Leika. Now will you rise as you're willing and able and join in singing We Are Building a New Way in the blue hymnal, number 1017. We now invite you into generosity as we collect our weekly offering. Each week, we commit to share our offering with a community organization that upholds our values. Our Share the Plate partner in January is Friends and Neighbors. This organization, operating in New York County, Pennsylvania, has a mission to create change by boldly applying best practices and innovative solutions to stubborn problems that hurt our communities and prevent opportunities. Homelessness is a stubborn problem, one that is complex, multidimensional, and long-standing. It also requires the collective support of multiple service systems in the community that extend far beyond housing. Their executive director, Crystal Perry, describes that, quote, "The challenges faced by people without housing often mirror those experienced by survivors of violence, from trauma and substance use to systemic barriers and stigma." The work of Friends and Neighbors is about meeting people where they are with compassion and without judgment. UUCY is proud to support this important work. The ushers will now collect the offering. If this is your first time visiting with us, please feel free to let the basket pass you by. Your presence is a gift. Please join us in extinguishing our chalice and your home chalices if you have lit them with these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And as you go out from this place, may you bring not just fiery commitment, may you bring not just gentle anger or hopes that you share with neighbors, but also the hopes that we share with the world. May you bring the determination of resistance and the resistance of joy into the future that unfolds before us. May it be so.